Welcome back to another video. In this video, we're going to talk about the science behind breath work and its benefits. So if you're interested in that, definitely stick around. This is going to be a fun one. I've been talking about breath work and how it relates to X, Y, and Z, but we're actually going to get into the meat of it, the science behind the physiology, anatomy, everything that I've been thinking about for many years, and I'm still thinking about every single day as I'm applying it to my life. So let's get right into it. Breath work. Maybe a new age term for you, right? Maybe you've heard about breath before, but now breath work seems a little like cuckoo, maybe, possibly. But I don't know what you heard about it. What I want to do is establish a baseline for you so that when you are thinking about it, you see it from our perspective, the alpha perspective. Remember, alpha is all about movement, metabolism, mindset. We talk about the science of metabolism, feed and fast all day long in other videos. We talk about mindset, your rest ritual, your rise ritual, all about it all day long. So what you want to do is actually think about how we incorporate movement. In this video, we're going to talk about specifically breath work, but there's also blood flow. Blood flow is something that we talk about in other videos. So you can see, right, the core things are already talked about, but one of the fundamental cores is going to be breath work. How do you breathe? How do you fundamentally breathe? I'm going to keep asking this question. I'm going to keep using the word because I really want you to resonate with what I'm trying to tell you right now. So the way we're going to get started is let's just go ahead and take a deep breath together. I don't know what that means to you, a deep breath, but whatever that means, go ahead and take it because we're going to establish the baseline, and when I build on top of it, you'll see what I'm talking about. So whatever that means to you, I'm just going to exaggerate just for exaggeration purposes. So right, we tend to hear that. We inhale, our chest is puffed up, and we exhale and we feel like a big sigh. Great to do, by the way. Nothing wrong with what you just did right now. But maybe some of you, are just like, hey, I took in a lot of air, but what if I were to tell you that you're only using the top portion of your lungs? That tree behind me, there's a reason behind it. That tree represents your lungs. Think about what the tree does. The tree takes the carbon dioxide from the air, the leaves itself, imagine the leaves to be alveoli for the human, and it exchanges the carbon dioxide with oxygen. This tree in front of me is giving me oxygen, and in turn, I'm giving it carbon dioxide. It's a very beautiful non-zero sum game. We both benefit from it, and that's why we still coexist. That's why I believe in nature. I believe in trees. I believe in propagating them and keeping them in good position because they keep us safe for many different things, for maybe things we don't even know about. My point is, that tree, if you were to flip it upside down, I want you to imagine the trunk to be where your trachea is, where your air and oxygen and all that stuff is going in, and then it's going through the different branches and the different alveoli. And so you do that every single time you take a breath. You're taking in a breath, but what we just did is we just took a very shallow breath, even though it was deep enough for you, but it was really actually a shallow breath. It only hit the superficial aspects of it. If I were to tell you maybe you're getting maximum 20 to 30% of it, how would that make you feel? You'd be like, bullshit, right? There's no way. I probably got like 50, 60, 70, right? Possibly. But imagine the individual that is sitting all day, hunched over in a position, sedentary lifestyle, overweight. Think about that. Maybe that's you right now. Think about what you experienced. Maybe you felt gassed out. Maybe you felt tired after that, right? It's very possible. So that is what is considered the normal breath, right? What most people do. And again, the breath is autonomic. You don't think about it, so it just keeps happening. And so as it keeps happening, you're not aware of what's actually moving inside your body. So what we're gonna do today is we're gonna do some conscious breathing. Specifically one type, one technique, only technique you truly need. Everything else is just extra. It's gonna be diaphragmatic breathing. I want you to imagine a natural state. When you were a child, when you were young, how did you actually breathe, right? Imagine a child breathing. They breathe through their belly, right? Their belly is expanding and collapsing, expanding and collapsing. They're actually leveraging something called the diaphragm, this big sheet of muscle that exists right below your lungs and right above your organs that are, the GI system essentially. And so when you're sticking your belly out and you're pushing it down, the diaphragm is getting contracted, it's pushing it down, allowing your lungs to fully expand. So just like how that tree is fully expanded in a way, that's what happens to your lungs. When the tree is very small, think of this tree right next to me. This is going to be inhalation, that's going to be exhalation. Inhalation, exhalation. This is how the vision that I want you to have, the inhalation and the exhalation. And so when you are fully using your belly and you're expanding your ribs and everything to accommodate it, what ends up happening is you expanded, you accumulate more oxygen into your system, right? Think about how much more. We're talking about anywhere between 70 to 90,000, well, I don't know why I said 1,000, 70 to 90% more intake from you breathing the way we just described. We're actually gonna do it together. So what we're gonna do is let's put our right hand on our heart, left hand on our belly, and we're gonna go ahead and expand the belly, rise the chest. I'm gonna go to the side profile so you're able to see what that looks like, and we'll do it together. So again, let's just do 2 as practice, and then we'll do 5 together as normal. 3, 2, 1. Expand the belly, rise the chest, sip, 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 and then let it go. All right, again, expand the belly, rise the chest, and then let it go. Yeah, you probably feel good already, but we're gonna do 5 of these together, and then we'll talk about, we're gonna start geeking out, so get ready for this. So go ahead and put your right hand on your heart, left hand on your belly. All right, we're gonna do 5 of these. At the 5th one, you'll see how I am, we'll see how you are, and we'll continue. So in 3, 2, 1. One. 2. 3. 4. Last one. 5. How do you feel? Do you feel more calm? Do you feel more relaxed? Perhaps you yawn, perhaps you are feeling sleepy, perhaps you were laughing or smiling, perhaps you were crying. A lot of emotions can go about when you do this type of work, but the most common is probably you feel a little tired and a little bit of tiredness, right? Because we hyper-oxygenated you. We gave you, again, 3 times more energy than normal. You're normally taking in what? 30%, 20-30%, and then now you're getting anywhere between 70 to 90%. It's a huge difference. What we did is we knocked ourselves out when we take in so much oxygen from the environment. And there's nothing wrong with it. Your body's just not used to it. It's like you taking 10 cups of coffee for the first day. What happens, right? You're gonna be super energetic, but then you're gonna knock out. And that's exactly what happens when you take in that type of diaphragmatic breathing. And so what I wanna tell you, and hopefully you saw the difference in me, is that it brings you into the present moment, right? This moment right here, not the past, not the future. It forces you to be here right now. So as you're listening to my words, you're here, you're present, I'm here, I'm present, I'm seeing a tree in front of me, I see 2 trees behind me, I see a camera, I see all of this stuff. I see beauty, right? I see nature, beauty generating engines. They're literally creating beauty everywhere we are. And so understanding that, let's talk about the science. Let's just talk about what happened. We briefly touched on the fact that your diaphragm is this big sheet of muscle, is contracting and collapsing when you're taking the conscious breath. So what I want you to think about is, how does it start, right? From the environment, we're taking in oxygen into our nose. From our nose, it's going down our trachea. So from the side, going down the trachea, that wind tube, and then it's going down the bronchial tree. And within that tree, it's then just finding the fastest path to an alveoli. Once it gets to an alveoli, that big ball sac where all the air fills in, think of it like a balloon, guess what? Right after that, there's a lot of diffusion happening. So when you exhale, this tree right here, when you exhale, you're releasing, so you're forcing the carbon dioxide from the blood to come into the blood, come into the alveoli, and the oxygen coming into the blood. So this amazing dance occurs. Carbon dioxide leaves, oxygen comes in. Carbon dioxide leaves, when you exhale, something coming out, right? So you're exhaling from the bronchial tree to your trachea, to your nose, and then that sigh is you exhaling. But when you're taking it in, you're bringing it in, going into your blood system, and guess what? It enters the highway, the blood highway. The highway that's going 5 liters per minute. It's going super duper fast. Like so fast, it's unbelievable. If you Google 5,000 what is it, 5 liters per minute into miles per hour is a ridiculous number. It's going super duper fast. And so understanding that, it's important how we apply it to anything that we do. Remember, breathwork is a tool to give you more energy. And so when you get more energy, right, so you're getting more oxygen, now what happens? It goes into your red blood cells. The red blood cells attach to it, or it attaches to it, and as your red blood system is just going and going, certain areas of your body require more energy. The demand is there. Your brain, your heart, your lungs, your kidneys, things that are vital to your survival is always wanting more energy. And so when you're working out, as you start this and embark on this journey of just fitness, how do you optimize yourself to your genetic potential, you start realizing that when you want to move, if you're a little bit overweight and you're having difficulties running for long distances, think about why you can't do that. Think about the energetic requirements. All of us, we get comfortable with the idea that when we're tired, we go ahead and drink some caffeine, we take a Red Bull or energy drink, or we take supplements, or et cetera, but it's all temporary fixes for the real problem, right? We're not gonna have the sustained type of energy that you need for long-term gain. Short-term pain for long-term gain. Most of us is short-term gain for long-term pain, right? We suffer. One day we look fine in the mirror, 20 years pass by, we look in and we don't recognize who that character is. And that's what happened to me. That's what happened to a lot of you. And I'm sure you understand what I'm talking about. And so when that oxygen comes into your whatever cell, right? If it's a heart cell, a cardiac cell, or a skeletal cell, your muscle, you're pumping iron, you're trying to do progressive overload. How do you go about doing it? And so then it goes into your mitochondria. That oxygen comes into your cell, goes into your mitochondria, and you have this amazing electron transport chain. It does something called aerobic respiration. Your body's able to use the air around you, the oxygen around you, convert that into, guess what? ATP. ATP is the holy grail of everything. You need ATP to survive, basically. So think of like gasoline, think of the oil, think of battery power, the atomic units. For us, atomic unit for energy would be ATP. We cleave those phosphate bonds so that we can get that energy, and then it can propel those enzymatic reactions that are needed for you to feel who you are right now. It could be both ways. When you don't have enough energy, your body starts degrading, shutting down processes that you don't need, and some of it, more than often, it gets spoiled. Think about when you have food. You leave it out for too long, what happens? It gets spoiled. Same thing with your body. So if you don't have enough energy, you start spoiling yourself internally, and then of course it manifests outside externally. Think about that beauty I just talked about. Think about that. All that's happening without you thinking about it. You don't even have to conceptualize what I'm talking about. It's automatic. There's a reason why you exist right now. Your body just continuously, always in the best interest of how to propel your life for as long as possible. And so what I want you to think about, and think about the benefits right now. You properly breathe. You do this every single day. You do it multiple times a day. What ends up happening is you start rejuvenating. You start regenerating. Your body starts seeing, okay, what areas do I need to work on? You start thinking sharper. You start eating more clean, because you start realizing is, how did that make you feel, like the processed food and sedentary lifestyle? Or how does this make you feel, looking like the guy in the mirror that you see every single day, super proud of, right? It takes so much time and effort to do this, but once you get here, once you hit that sweet spot, I guarantee you, you will always, always, always want to cruise this paradigm. With that being said, guys, I hope you found value in this video. You understand the power in the breath, the science behind it. I know I geeked out a little bit, but I can spend hours talking about this. I've spent hours breathing. So when you do that, what ends up happening to you is you have such a profound appreciation for what it is and how it can impact your life and all the beauties around it. With that, again, if you like this video, give me a like, letting me know you like the video. I appreciate you. I know it gives me value, that you get value. If you disliked it, no harm. Go ahead and dislike it. Let me know in the comments below, because I'm curious why you disliked it. But really, what I love seeing the numbers of subscribers go up. It shows me that I'm providing value. Just like in TikTok and YouTube and Instagram, all that stuff, there's value to it, right? It shows you there's signal in what you're hearing. So if you found signal, if you found value, let me know, hit that subscribe button. Other than that, my name is Shaquille. I'm with Alpha. We're here to optimize yourself to your genetic potential. Other than that, I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye.